Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast debate where Altaf and I will discuss the controversial question: should junk food be banned completely everywhere?
Thank you, Annie. This is a fascinating topic because junk food is loved by millions but also blamed for serious health problems worldwide.
Exactly. People enjoy burgers, fries, chips, and sodas, yet doctors warn these foods contribute to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease globally.
But banning junk food raises questions about personal freedom, choice, and responsibility. Should governments decide what people can or cannot eat?
Health experts argue that banning junk food could reduce medical costs, improve public health, and encourage healthier eating habits among young generations.
On the other hand, banning might create black markets, resentment, and people may still find unhealthy alternatives despite government restrictions.
We should consider children especially, because junk food advertising targets them, shaping lifelong habits that increase risks of chronic diseases later.
Parents also play a role, teaching moderation and balance, but banning junk food might remove temptation and make healthier options more attractive.
Yet some argue education is better than prohibition, teaching kids about nutrition, exercise, and moderation instead of simply removing junk food entirely.
Education is important, but many families struggle with time and money, and junk food is cheap, convenient, and heavily marketed everywhere.
That's true. Affordability makes junk food appealing, but governments could subsidize fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to make healthy food cheaper.
Subsidies could help, but banning junk food might hurt businesses, restaurants, and workers who depend on fast food industries for employment.
Economic consequences are real, but public health costs are also enormous, with billions spent treating preventable diseases linked to junk food.
We must balance health and economy, perhaps regulating portion sizes, limiting advertising, or adding taxes instead of outright banning junk food.
Taxes on sugary drinks have shown success in reducing consumption, proving that policy interventions can influence healthier choices without complete bans.
But critics say taxes punish poor families disproportionately, since wealthier people can afford them while poorer communities rely more on cheap food.
That's why banning might be fairer, removing harmful products altogether, ensuring everyone has equal access to healthier alternatives without financial penalties.
Still, banning could spark backlash, with people feeling governments are controlling their lives, leading to resistance and even protests against restrictions.
Resistance is possible, but governments already regulate harmful substances like tobacco and alcohol. So why not regulate junk food similarly?
Tobacco and alcohol directly harm users, but junk food in moderation isn't necessarily dangerous. It becomes harmful only when consumed excessively.
Moderation is difficult when companies design junk food to be addictive, using sugar, salt, and fat combinations that trigger cravings constantly.
Addiction is a strong word, but yes, junk food is engineered for taste, convenience, and satisfaction, making moderation harder for many people.
That's why banning could break the cycle, forcing industries to innovate healthier products, creating a new culture of nutritious convenience foods.
Innovation is possible, but banning might reduce variety and enjoyment. Food is cultural, social, and emotional, not just about nutrition and health.
Culture evolves, and banning harmful foods could inspire new traditions centered around healthier meals, improving both physical and emotional well-being.
But banning risks, stigmatizing certain foods, making people feel guilty or rebellious, which could worsen relationships with eating and body image.
True, but public campaigns could normalize healthy eating, showing that nutritious food can be delicious, affordable, and socially rewarding for everyone.
Campaigns are powerful, but banning junk food might still feel extreme. Perhaps gradual restrictions would be more acceptable than sudden prohibition.
Gradual restrictions could work, starting with schools, hospitals, and government institutions, removing junk food from places where health is prioritized.
Yes, protecting children in schools is crucial, but banning junk food entirely from society might still be unrealistic and overly ambitious.
Unrealistic, maybe, but ambitious goals often drive progress. Without bold action, junk food consumption will continue rising.
Bold action is inspiring, but practical solutions matter. Education, regulation, and healthier alternatives may achieve better results than outright banning.
Worsening global health crises. But banning sends a strong message, showing governments prioritize health over profits, encouraging industries to adapt and innovate responsibly.
Industries might adapt, but banning could also destroy small businesses, street vendors, and cultural foods that are considered junk but beloved locally.
Local foods can be preserved if they meet nutritional standards, but multinational corporations producing harmful junk food should face stricter bans.
Corporations are powerful, and banning their products could lead to legal battles, lobbying, and political conflicts that complicate implementation.
Yes, but governments have overcome similar challenges with tobacco, proving that persistence and public support can overcome corporate resistance.
Public support is key, but many people love junk food. Convincing them to support bans might be harder than fighting corporations.
That's why education campaigns must accompany bans, showing people the long-term benefits of healthier lifestyles, reducing resistance and increasing acceptance.
Education plus regulation sounds balanced, but banning still feels too restrictive. People should have freedom to choose, even if choices are unhealthy.
Freedom matters, but governments also protect citizens from harm. Banning junk food could be seen as protecting public health, not limiting freedom.
But where does it stop? If junk food is banned, will governments ban desserts, fried foods, or traditional dishes considered unhealthy?
The line must be clear: ban industrial junk food with excessive sugar, salt, and chemicals, not traditional meals prepared with natural ingredients.
Defining junk food is tricky, though. Pizza, burgers, and fried chicken can be homemade with healthier ingredients, so should they be banned?
Homemade versions are different, but mass-produced fast food chains often prioritize profit over nutrition, making their products harmful and deserving bans.
Perhaps labeling and transparency could help, requiring companies to disclose ingredients clearly, empowering consumers to make informed decisions without bans.
Labels are useful, but many people ignore them. Banning ensures harmful products don't reach shelves, protecting even those who don't read labels.
But banning might reduce consumer responsibility, making people dependent on governments instead of learning to make healthy choices themselves.
Governments already protect citizens in many ways. Banning junk food could be another protective measure, ensuring healthier environments for future generations.
Future generations deserve health, but banning might not solve everything. Stress, lifestyle, and genetics also contribute to diseases beyond junk food.
True, but reducing junk food consumption would still significantly lower risks, making it a valuable step toward healthier societies overall.
I agree reducing consumption is important, but banning feels extreme. Balanced approaches combining education, regulation, and incentives might be more effective.
Extreme measures sometimes save lives. Banning junk food could be the bold step needed to reverse dangerous health trends worldwide.
Bold steps inspire debate, and today we've explored both sides, whether banning junk food is necessary or whether moderation is enough.
Yes, and listeners should reflect on their own habits, considering how personal choices and government policies shape health and society.
Ultimately, the question remains, should junk food be banned, or should individuals and communities take responsibility for healthier living themselves?